Think you know everything about Eve? Think again. What if I revealed that this hip-hop legend once traded rhymes for dollar bills in a strip club? Or that she nearly abandoned music completely before becoming a household name? Or that her romantic history includes connections to international controversy? Get ready for an explosive journey through 12 mind-blowing facts about Eve that will completely change how you see this iconic artist. And wait until you hear the final 2 revelations, they're absolutely jaw-dropping. The birth of a legend. Meet Eve Jihan Jeffers, born November 10, 1978, in Philadelphia's gritty streets. That sophisticated name sounds more suited for a Wall Street executive than a fierce rapper who would go head-to-head with hip-hop's biggest names. But Eve shattered every expectation, proving she could dominate corporate boardrooms and recording studios with the same ruthless precision. Her name evolution tells its own story. From Eve Jihan Jeffers to Eve Jihan Cooper. After marrying British mogul Maximilian Cooper, she transformed from street royalty to actual aristocracy, trading her crown as the First Lady of Rough Riders for a life of unimaginable luxury. The Strip Club Chronicles. Before the Grammy nominations and Hollywood contracts, Eve's survival story took an unexpected turn. At 18, facing financial desperation, she entered the world of exotic dancing under the stage name Gangster. But here's where it gets fascinating: Eve was arguably the most unconventional stripper in history. While other dancers perfected their pole techniques, Eve had a different strategy. She would skip the traditional routine entirely and instead deliver rap performances for tips. Picture this: customers expecting a typical strip club experience, but instead getting front-row seats to what would become legendary hip-hop talent. The turning point came when Maze discovered her raw talent and delivered life-changing advice: "You're too gifted for this environment." That conversation became the catalyst that pushed Eve from club stages to world stages. She abandoned the dancing shoes, grabbed the microphone, and transformed her entire trajectory. Now that's what you call a complete metamorphosis. The hidden struggles behind success. Success came with unexpected consequences. Despite projecting unshakable confidence, Eve privately battled severe panic attacks. The same woman who commanded respect in every room was secretly relying on anxiety medication just to function. This reveals the harsh reality that even our most celebrated icons fight invisible wars behind their public personas. The Dr. Dre connection that never was. Here's a what-if scenario that could have changed hip-hop history. Originally, Eve was positioned to become Dr. Dre's next major discovery, a collaboration that promised to revolutionize the industry. But the deal mysteriously evaporated, with rumors suggesting she was dropped to make room for an emerging artist named Eminem. Imagine Dr. Dre's thoughts now, knowing he passed on Eve. But setbacks only fuel legends. Eve rebounded immediately, joining Rough Riders and establishing herself as their undisputed First Lady, turning rejection into her greatest triumph. Making Billboard history. When Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders' First Lady, debuted, Eve didn't just release an album, she rewrote the record books. She became only the 3rd female rapper in history to claim the #1 spot on the Billboard 200, joining the exclusive company of Lauryn Hill and Foxy Brown. This wasn't just personal success, it was a statement for every woman fighting for recognition in hip-hop's male-dominated landscape. The most savage moment? Jay-Z called to congratulate her, then added this patronizing comment: "Don't feel discouraged if sales disappoint, female rap albums typically struggle." Excuse me, what? But Eve didn't waste energy on tears. Instead, she channeled that backhanded remark into pure motivation and achieved platinum status. Jay-Z and the entire industry had to swallow those words while her Rough Riders beats played in the background. Scorpio energy unleashed. Her sophomore album, Scorpion, wasn't just a catchy title, it was astrological destiny. Born November 10, Eve embodies every Scorpio trait: mysterious, intense, and devastatingly sharp. She poured that zodiac energy into every track, from scorching lyrics to that unforgettable collaboration with Gwen Stefani. The Scorpio sting was real in the early 2000s. But not every sting came from her music. During her relationship with producer Stevie J, their breakup took a disgusting turn when he violated her privacy by leaking intimate footage. This despicable act could have destroyed many careers, but Eve handled the situation with incredible dignity, stating she wouldn't watch it and refused to let it define her legacy. While Stevie J was behaving deplorably, Eve was building her empire. That's pure class in action. The Grammy injustice and redemption. Here's an industry scandal that still infuriates fans. Eve contributed her distinctive vocals to the Roots Grammy-winning masterpiece, You Got Me, but received zero official recognition. How do you feature Eve on a track and treat her like she's invisible? It's beyond comprehension. Fortunately, justice eventually prevailed. In 2002, Eve claimed her rightful Grammy for Let Me Blow Ya Mind, with Gwen Stefani, becoming the inaugural winner in the Best Rap/Sung Collaboration category. They had no choice but to acknowledge greatness. The Dictator's Son controversy. Prepare yourself for this bombshell. In the early 2000s, Eve was romantically connected to Teodoro Nguema Obiang Mange, the son of Equatorial Guinea's dictator. We're talking about political power, enormous wealth, and massive controversy wrapped into one relationship. Given his family's questionable human rights record, this connection definitely raised serious eyebrows. Was she dating a man or courting international headlines? But Eve has always been about elevation, and that controversial chapter eventually ended, filed under, everyone has dated at least one major red flag. Love conquers racism. Eve's true fairy tale began in 2014 with British entrepreneur Maximilian Cooper. While their romance represents the perfect blend of black excellence and British billionaire status, not everyone celebrated their union. Eve courageously spoke about facing racist harassment, hateful messages, ignorant comments, the complete toxic package. Did this racism derail her happiness? Absolutely not. She married her soulmate, built a beautiful family, and welcomed their son Wild. Their love story proves that genuine connection conquers all hatred. Bonus family dynamics. Marriage to Maximilian brought unexpected blessings. Eve didn't just gain a husband, she inherited 4 additional children, Lotus, Jagger, Cash, and Minnie. She's been remarkably transparent about navigating stepmother responsibilities, acknowledging the challenges while embracing the rewards. The adjustment required patience, understanding, and tremendous love, but now she lovingly refers to them as her bonus children. Silent suffering during success. While filming her hit sitcom, Eve, our heroine was privately enduring one of life's most devastating experiences, an ectopic pregnancy. She revealed this heartbreak years later in her memoir, Who's That Girl? Imagine performing comedy for cameras while carrying such profound pain internally. This demonstrates that Eve transcends being just a rapper, actress, or icon, she's a genuine warrior. Her sitcom, Eve, 2003 to 2006, delivered fashion, friendship, and quintessential early 2000s vibes. Playing a Miami fashion designer navigating love, life, and wild friendships, the show was genuinely ahead of its time. Yet it was inexplicably cancelled after 3 seasons. Fans still passionately debate this decision, keeping the show alive in their hearts and through endless reruns. The almost quitting moment. Can you imagine hip-hop without Who's That Girl or Let Me Blow Ya Mind? Believe it or not, Eve seriously contemplated abandoning rap entirely. Being among the few women in the genre was mentally exhausting, constantly overlooked, underestimated, and surrounded by ego-driven studios filled with men who didn't always respect her talent. Instead of surrendering, Eve transformed that frustration into fuel. She didn't just remain in the game, she dominated it completely. The paw print legacy. Those iconic chest paw print tattoos weren't just body art, they became cultural symbols, defining an entire era and aesthetic. But here's the secret origin: Eve got them on a youthful dare, living her most rebellious life. When her mother first saw them, she was mortified, calling them the tackiest things ever and questioning every life choice. Years later, as Eve considered laser removal to mature her image, her mother surprisingly changed her perspective. That's how people recognize you. That single observation made Eve realize those paw prints had become integral to her brand identity. Now she appreciates how they've faded and evolved, just like her music and her incredible journey. The legacy lives on. From strip clubs to red carpets, from Rough Riders to royal weddings, Eve's trajectory has been absolutely legendary. Now 46, she's conquered anxiety, navigated drama, responded with class, and emerged looking like absolute royalty. Literally, given her husband's fortune, her estimated net worth sits at a cool $25 million. Whether dropping bars, serving looks, or commanding your television screen, Eve proves she's not just the pit bull in a skirt, she's a complete boss in designer heels. So the next time someone tries to diminish Eve as merely a feature queen or 2000s moment, kindly educate them. She made history, stayed consistently booked, and never broke character. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the undeniable, unshakable legacy of Eve.